Hey guys, I'm your host Troubletcat. You're watching Zombie Arcade, and this is Meet the Weapon. We're looking at the Mark 11 Mod 0 with a, this is actually number 2. Fuck. Anyway, we're looking at the Mark 11 Mod 0 here with a close range setup. I got a holographic sight, a foregrip, and a laser sight. I called this video Problems in My Life because, as you're going to see, I pretty much immediately went on a gigantic death streak. I'd make a bit of a comeback, though, a little bit, or you guys wouldn't be seeing this video. But yeah, I don't know. I figured the other day I put up a video where I played really competently, so today I could probably get away with some horrific derping. And besides, we all love a little bit of derp in our lives. Or something. This was actually a loadout that one of the viewers commented on the last video and sort of said, sadly I don't remember the dude's name, and said that this was a good loadout, and this was actually something I was already planning on doing, so kudos to that guy, I guess. I don't even know. But basically this is a really good little loadout for this gun if you want to be more mobile. You may have heard and be aware that the foregrip does reduce your accuracy a bit after the patch, which you might think would be undesirable on a sniper rifle, but the fact of the matter is this gun's accuracy, all the sniper rifles, their accuracy is so high to begin with that it doesn't really, you're not really going to notice a difference. I mean, the bullet spread is still so low that you're going to be pretty freaking accurate at medium range. As for the rest of the loadout, this is basically sort of a run-and-gun kind of loadout with this gun. The laser sight means that you have decent hip-fire accuracy, so you can hip spray people down with it if you need to, although it's still generally better to carry like an auto pistol or something and use that if you're up close. And again, the holographic sight is just good if they're, fairly close to you. But since it's, it's still, keep in mind when you're running a setup like this, it is still a marksman rifle. It is still going to be accurate and damaging at distance. So, if you're confident aiming at somebody, even with that lack of zoom on the sight there, if you're comfortable at aiming somebody who's further away, go for it, absolutely. Your gun's going to be effective at that range, even if you don't have maybe the best optics in the world for it. It's still absolutely worth, you'll see, and you see a fair bit of me doing it in this video. For example, I think I take this guy out here at, a pretty good range, especially considering I'm running, a holo sight. So, when you're running a close range setup on your sniper rifle, always remember it is still a sniper rifle. You can still put the hurt on people at an extreme distance. I wanted to mention in this video, I'm going to be doing the format a little bit different for these Recon videos than for the other videos in Meet the Weapon, because with all the previous classes, I've pretty much gone through in order of unlocks. I mean, I've put the co-op guns and the Patrick Karkin guns at various points, different times, but mostly I've just gone in the order that you unlock weapons. However, with these Recon videos, I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to cover the 4 main semi-autos, this gun, the SVD, the M39 EMR, and the QBU-88. I'm going to cover those, and then I'm going to cover the bolt actions, and I'm going to do the SKS at the end. And the reason for that is that, unlike other classes, the Recon guns are divided into these 2 actually really clear categories, and where there's actually a lot of similarities between the weapons. I mean, the semi-auto snipers are, for example, close to indistinguishable from each other. They're not entirely, but it's close in terms of handling. So I figured for the purposes of comparison, and I mean, in terms of, I think a lot of players will make sort of a choice whether they want a bolt action or a semi-auto and go from there. And I sort of, yeah, in terms of comparison, I wanted to put the guns that makes more sense to compare to each other closer to each other. So it doesn't make that much sense comparing the semi-autos against the bolt actions. It makes more sense comparing the semi-autos to the other semi-autos and the bolt actions to the other bolt actions. And I will cover why you would choose a semi-auto over bolt action and vice versa in one of the videos. Probably the first bolt action video, which will be with the SV98. And now the reason I'm putting the SKS at the end is you could sort of argue that the SKS is one of the semi-auto sniper rifles, but I really feel like it's sort of an odd gun out on the Recon Kit, and I'll talk about that a bit more when I get to it. But the SKS doesn't actually quite fit in with the other semi-auto sniper rifles. It's a lot less powerful, but it has a bigger clip, and it handles a lot differently from the other semi-autos, which all feel kind of similar to each other. So I'll be covering that at the end, right before we move on to the all-kit videos. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing for this here Recon Kit. I will say, I mean, I mentioned in the last video that I don't really go for semi-autos much, because I feel like, I don't like that at longer ranges, the semi-autos don't kill in one headshot, despite being snipers. But if you run them in a setup like this, in a sort of more close quarters setup, they can be quite nifty little guns. I will say, I mean, this can be effective and it can be fun and all that, but I will say that you're still generally going to be better off in this situation with an assault rifle or a carbine. Even a light machine gun is probably going to do better in these kinds of situations. That'd be a little bit closer in terms of effectiveness at this range, because the light machine guns are really medium-range powerhouses more than anything, with a few exceptions. But yeah, I mean, this is an okay loadout, but you're going to be more comfortable with pretty much any other class of weapon in these kinds of situations anyway. So again, you know, still not a huge fan. I'm going to be showing you, for the SVD, a loadout that is kind of cool, actually, for semi-auto rifles, and that one is one that I actually do kind of like, but I wanted to cover this one on the Mark 11 Mod 0, because basically what I'm going to do is, the loadouts that you use for the different semi-auto sniper rifles are all pretty much the same. Like, there's a few different loadouts that you would use, and they all sort of work on any semi-auto sniper rifle. So I'm pretty much just going to assign one to each semi-auto sniper rifle, and feel free to guess what attachments I'm going to use on the other ones, by the way. If you find that amusing, you will win absolutely nothing if you're correct, aside from a sense of self-satisfaction. Anyway, so yeah, I'm probably going to cover, you know, one attachment loadout per gun for these, since you can use these, like you can use this loadout on the SVD or the M39 or the QBU. You can see here, I really did have problems in my life. I'm suddenly playing in Rainbow Six mode. For those of you who didn't play Rainbow Six, basically in the early Rainbow Six games, you couldn't see your gun. And you'll notice here that I can't see my gun. And in fact, a lot of the time here, I am aiming down sights, but that doesn't do anything. Yeah, I wouldn't say this game lacks polish exactly, but there are a few kind of odd glitches that persist sometimes, especially when you get revived. Things can go wrong sometimes, such as this. I was actually really impressed with myself. I did manage to kill somebody while I was in Rainbow Six mode up here in a second, which was pretty dope, actually. I mean, there was no reason I shouldn't be able to. So it just kind of throws you off, you know. But you have to. I was aiming down sights to get my accuracy up and all that stuff, but it just kind of throws you off. Had to channel my old school power. I was actually a little bit disappointed that I didn't kill more of those guys. Anyway, so yeah, as I said, be doing like one loadout for each of these semi-autos, and they can apply to any other gun. So this can be used on any of the semi-autos pretty effectively. And yeah, I'm going to be doing the same thing with the bolt actions, probably. I might do a couple of loadouts for one of them, but it'll probably be the same with the bolt actions. I'll be doing one loadout per weapon, and because they're more or less interchangeable. I mean, as I said, the differences between the semi-auto snipers and the bolt action snipers are really, really minor. It comes down to personal taste and preference, and that's about it. I mean, there's not a huge difference between the handling of the different sniper rifles inside those two distinct categories of weapons, as I mentioned earlier. So, yeah, you saw earlier I derped really hard. I guess I went on a 6 death streak, and then I was like 1 for 7 after that. And but technically this was a good game. If you cut off like the first third of the game or so, then technically I went 15 for 3 in the end. So that's good, right? I mean, that's a plenty fun ratio. That's a 5 KD. That is absolutely fine. So, I mean, if we could just all pretend that the beginning of this game didn't happen, I mean, I sure did. I pretended as hard as I could, but the nightmares won't stop! Yeah, every time I play poorly in this game, I actually get PTSD. It's a real problem, especially considering, you know, how much I play it. And the fact that this gentleman was behind me makes me really upset. Anyway, I think I got revived here. Yeah, good. I was wondering why I didn't cut that, and then it was because I got revived, where I don't tend to cut things. Yeah, Battlefield 3 is hell. Kind of looking forward to, I'm hoping, it actually is a good game, you know, all joking aside. A lot of people complain about this game. In fact, there was something the other day, I kind of feel inclined sometimes to respond to all the hatred from the community. I feel like the fact that I like this game puts me on the defensive. I know that in reality, I mean, a lot of people are somewhat disappointed in the game, and it's not quite as good as they thought it would be. But I know that in reality, most people get, you know, some enjoyment out of the game. They like it to a certain extent, and the people who are really, really fucking mad are just a really noisy minority. But they are noisy as hell. I'm getting a little bit off topic, but yeah, it was just, I read the Battlelog forums a lot, and yesterday there was a lot of mad about a variety of topics, and I don't know, I sometimes feel like making responses. I do reply on the Battlelog forums, horrifyingly enough, but you know, I occasionally feel like making video responses and stuff like that. I try to just not get involved in it too much, because I figure people would just be mad, bro, and I mean, I enjoy the game, and it's good enough for me, dog. It does have problems, but overall, I do think this is a good game. I'm getting a little bit, in some ways, a little bit tired of it. You know, I'm not playing as much as I was, anywhere near as much as I was, you know, a few months ago, but I think that's just because I've got an enormous amount of time played on this game. You know, it's not because the game's bad, it's because I'm playing it for a lot. And then the fact that I'm still playing it all, actually, is a testament to the fact that this is a pretty damn enjoyable game for me, and I quite like it, despite, you know, its various flaws. I'm really looking forward to the next DLC once again. And hoping it'll breathe a little bit more life into the game for me. Anyway, I should probably finish off with something about the Mark 11 Mod 0 or the Loadout in this video. It's a gun. It shots bullets. It's semi-automatic. Yeah, this isn't too bad of a loadout for it. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, Troubletcat out.